Hi, my name's Haley Sargent, and this is my vlog, Communication with Others. Since this is my first vlog, I'll tell you a little something about myself. I am 19 years old. I go to Tacoma Community College, and fun fact, I had heart surgery when I was 8 years old. Yeah, so let's get started. My vlog is about how we commute differently when we're in different groups. To compare this, we are going to do communication in sports, especially in soccer and tennis. Now, this is girls soccer and girls tennis. One, communication can be differently done in boys soccer or boys tennis. And two, to compare what I'm going to say for the tennis part, it's going to be especially for doubles. Think about it. Okay. Now, to compare the two, I had separated both sports into two different categories. One is communication within the team, and then there's communication with the team and the opposing team. Let's talk about the soccer and the communication in the team. Now, there is a lot of verbal and nonverbal communication. What I would think more importantly in soccer is the verbal communication, and here's why. Verbal communication you have to do because you are saying what's going on the field. You have to know what's going on the field, and you can't know every single thing unless your team is helping you out. So if you have the ball, what we like to say is one of my teammates will say man on, which means a person's coming behind you, which leads to you have to give up the ball or you have to do something fast. This is very important because if there was no communication and I did not know that player was going to come up behind me, if my teammates didn't let me know someone's coming behind me, I would have been blindsided and probably had the ball taken away from me. And so, reason why communication is important in soccer is to know where everything's going on around you. And to have good communication going on with your team, you have to have trust in your team. You have to trust them. What they're going to say to you is reliable. And that trust is built on off the field trust, bonding, friendships. And you'll see a lot of girls soccer players are really good friends because they spend so much time together and they learn to trust one another when it comes to playing on the field. Now, communication between team and the opposing team can be very interesting. See, I play pretty high competitive soccer. I actually play at the Tacoma Community College soccer team. So it can get pretty intense, especially communication between the two teams. It's a lot of verbal and nonverbal. Verbally, it can be what I will say a cause and effect of verbalization. It can end up being a positive cause, or it can be a positive cause with a positive effect, or a negative cause with a negative effect. So, what I mean by that is, say, if I got fouled and the ref blew his whistle for a foul, if the girl had a kind of like positive cause, like, oh, I'm so sorry, didn't really mean to like foul you, that would lead to a good effect. Me like, oh, no worries, it happens, and it does. But when it's a bad cause, same situation, same thing, but the girl says, I did not trip her, she fell on her own, that's going to lead to a bad cause. Like me saying that, no, you did foul me, and it was on purpose. And then that leads to a lot more talking against players and momentum. It can get very messy verbally, let's just say. The nonverbal part, though, for between team and opponent is you can read the other opponent's like body language. Let's say they're being really aggressive. That we developed as, okay, we need to protect ourselves, make sure we're safe, and let's make sure the ref is calling the calls when they're being way too aggressive and try to hurt us. And so it's that kind of little stuff that it causes us to think, okay, we're reading their body language, they're coming at us hard, or if they're coming soft, like not hitting hard, we will say we'll hit hard then to win the ball. So it really is, you have to read the other team's language, body language. Now on to tennis. Now in tennis, when it comes to between nonverbal and verbal and which one's more important, I think nonverbal is more important. And here's why. Between teammates and doubles, nonverbal communication leads to how the game is played. It's really how your teammate communicates with you. The game is a fast-paced game if you're playing a high level. There's not much time to say verbal words. So when you can't hit a ball, you try to step away from the ball to indicate to your teammate saying, hey, I can't get it. This nonverbal communication is built on your friendship with each other or how much time you guys spend with each other. Nonverbal communication is very important, and it's built on how the nonverbal communication is communicated is on the movement. Like I said before, moving away from the ball. To get the best out of nonverbal communication, like I said, was the friendship. The friendship is very key. You have to know how your teammate plays. You have to know how they move, how much stamina, whatever affects the game for you guys. You have to know every single detail of your teammate. Or if you don't, it's not going to be a very good game because you guys won't be able to communicate well with each other, and then the mentality is just down, which is very important in tennis, which I'll get to here in a second. Now, team against opponent, nonverbal communication is also pretty important, and here's why. It's more about reading their body language. You want to read how they play, how they work around a ball, or where their weakness is at. Because if you find their weakness, your game set match for that game. And here's why. If you get in their head and keep hitting their weakness, you get in their head and they mess up, and that's the end game. Tennis, I 100% kid you not, is all mostly mentality. Probably 80% mentality, 20% skill. It's because when they get in their head, they can't focus on the game. And I've never played a sport quite like this, where mentality is so important. Because if your mentality is down, you don't play as well, then your mentality goes way more down, and then your play is not very good again, and it's very hard to pick up again. Not impossible, but it's very hard. I've been on that side where mentality's been down. I've been on the other side where the other team's mentality's down, and you just try to see who can get their mentality down first. So, in conclusion, I've learned a lot on how different communication is in sports. In soccer, verbally, communication is way more important than nonverbal. And then in tennis, nonverbal communication is a lot more important than verbal. Plus, in tennis, there's not a lot of time to be have verbal communication. So, that is my conclusion. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and have a great day.